Imagine looking into a mirror that doesn't show your face, but reveals your hidden thoughts, your unspoken hopes, and the parts of you keep locked away. What if falling in love is really falling in love with that hidden self? Today, we explore what Carl Jung discovered about love and how his ideas can help you understand your own heart. Let's begin on love as a mirror to our inner world. Have you been suddenly drawn to someone, as if they hold the missing piece to the puzzle that is your life? Well, Carl Jung had a simple, yet powerful explanation for this phenomenon. To Carl Jung, we're often not falling for the real person, but for parts of ourselves reflected back. How does this work, and why does it matter? Jung taught that we don't always fall for someone's true self at first. Instead, we project parts of our own unconscious onto them. He called these inner figures the anima, the unconscious feminine side in men, and the animus, the unconscious masculine side in women. When a man meets a woman who seems gentle, creative, or nurturing, he may actually be seeing his own anima. In other words, traits he has buried or ignored. Likewise, a woman might be drawn to a man who shows strength, logic, or decisiveness because she is projecting her animus. Jung showed that our minds carry hidden images, fragments of who we were, who we are, or who we long to become. These images live in our unconscious and speak to us through other people. When someone embodies one of these buried fragments, we feel an instant spark. But it's not really them we're seeing. It's a part of ourselves reflected in their presence. This is what he calls projection. Projection feels magical. It makes someone seem perfect. But it is not real love. It is a reflection of what our own psyche needs. To see real love, we must first stop projecting and learn to recognize the other person as they truly are. Here is a story that illustrates the concepts of anima and animus. There is a guy, let's call him Alex. Alex, a software engineer, trusted data over feelings. He lived by logic and routine. Then he met Jamie, an artist who spoke the languages of colors and emotions. Alex felt an irresistible pull toward her free spirit. At first, he thought it was Jamie's charm. But over time, he realized she was showing him the creative side he'd buried, his anima. In loving her, Alex rediscovered his own creativity, began painting and writing poetry, and opened his heart to new experiences. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed, Jung wrote, and Alex's transformation proved it. So, next time you feel that instant spark, pause and ask yourself, what part of me am I seeing in them? When you recognize your projections, you free yourself and your relationships from illusion. You stop chasing mirrors and start appreciating real connections. But projection is only half the story. Let's step into the darker corners of our psyche to meet the shadow. 2. The shadow. Our hidden side. Jung said we all have a shadow. This shadow is the part of ourselves that we deny or reject. These can be traits we think of as bad, like anger or jealousy, or good qualities we refuse to accept, like confidence or ambition. Our shadow lives in the unconscious. When we ignore it, it grows stronger. In relationships, the shadow can burst out in moments of stress or conflict. Suddenly, you might act in ways that surprise you and hurt the person you love. Here's an analogy for you. You are a lady, and you've always seen yourself as calm and gentle. But when your partner Tom kept making decisions without enlisting your help, you exploded with anger. Although you're convinced your outrage is justified, you discovered that you actually hated that angry side of yourself that has been submerged for long. So you enrolled for therapy. And during therapy, you learned that your outburst came from a shadow you had ignored, And that shadow is your need to be heard and respected. When you own that anger, that it is yours and has always been a part of you, you could now speak up calmly instead of lashing out at Tom. Your relationship with Tom begins to grow stronger, once again, because you've accepted and integrated your shadow. Now, it needs to be said, everyone has a shadow. It is a part of being human. So, don't beat yourself up when you discover this part about yourself. It does not make you a bad person. Indeed, Carl Jung himself says that there is no light without shadow and no psychic wholeness without imperfection. Now that we've met our shadow, how do we bring all these parts, anima, animus, and shadow, into harmony? That's the journey of individuation, which brings us to the next point. 3. Individuation, the journey to wholeness. Jung believed the goal of life is individuation, becoming a whole person by integrating all parts of the self, including anima, animus, and shadow. Individuation is a slow journey, because in individuation, you are tasked with facing your own fears, owning your desires, and bringing hidden traits into the light. It is only when someone has gone through the process of individuation that they can then love others without projecting. And only then can such person have healthy, balanced relationships. And no, individuation isn't just for one spouse. In love, individuation means both partners work on themselves. Each person supports the other's growth. Together, they form a bond of two whole people, not two halves looking for completion. According to Jung, once individuation is achieved, the woman is increasingly aware that love alone can give her full stature, just as the man begins to discern that spirit alone can endow his life with its highest meaning. Basically, Jung is simply trying to say that when you love from wholeness, you give freely. You do not demand that your partner fill your gaps. Instead, you share your complete self and invite your partner to share theirs. While we cultivate wholeness, we must also navigate how we relate to power, because power and love go hand in hand. 4. Power versus love. Jung made another interesting discovery about love in relation to power. To him, love and power are polar opposites. In a true loving relationship, no one seeks to control the other. If power games take over, love fades. In regards to this, Jung is famously quoted for saying, "Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, their love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other." The explanation to this is rather very simple. When one partner dominates every choice and dismisses the other's ideas, love cannot grow. Constant control, deciding where to go, what to eat, and how to spend money, leaves the other feeling powerless and resentful. Over time, that resentment kills love. But if decisions are shared, each person's voice heard, both feel valued, and love deepens. Finally, all these pieces, projection, shadow, individuation, power, lead to the ultimate gift of love, transformation. 5. Love as transformation for Jung. Love is not just a feeling. It is a force that changes us. In his own words, "Great is he who is in love, since love is the present act of the great creator, the present moment of the becoming and lapsing of the world." Every relationship acts like a sculptor's chisel. Each conflict, each shared joy, each moment of honesty chips away at our rough edges and reveals our true selves. When you face your fears because someone else loves you, you grow braver. When you accept your faults because someone else accepts you, you grow kinder. Love invites us to become the best version of ourselves. So how do you actually put Jung's ideas to work in your day-to-day life? Here are 5 simple practical steps you can try right now. 1. Notice your projections. Next time you feel an instant spark with someone, pause. Ask yourself, What part of me am I seeing in them? Maybe you admire their confidence because you secretly wish you had more of it. Catching these moments helps you see when you're falling for a mirror image of yourself and not the real person. 2. Face your shadow. We've all snapped at someone over something trivial and then wondered why. That's your shadow, your hidden side, talking. Instead of blaming the other person, pause and ask, what hidden feeling is driving me right now? Is it fear, jealousy, or something else? Naming that feeling, admitting to yourself that I'm scared or I feel ignored, takes away the power of that shadow and brings you closer to your true self. 3. Cultivate individuation. Jung called this becoming whole. To achieve this, carve out alone time, journal, meditate, or take a quiet walk. Notice your thoughts without any outside noise. The more you know yourself, the less you'll rely on someone else to fill in the gaps. 4. Choose love over power. In every argument, swap "I'm right" for "how can we both win?" Really listen. When you aim for solutions that honor both voices, yours and theirs, you build trust instead of walls. That simple shift turns potential conflict into connection. 5. Embrace transformation. See every relationship as a lesson. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what did I learn about myself today? Maybe you discovered patience you didn't know you had, or realized a fear you need to face. Each insight moves you closer to the whole. Authentic you, and that, Jung would say, is the real magic of love. Love is more than a feeling. It's a mirror, a challenge, and a path to wholeness. Carl Jung showed us that through love, we confront our hidden selves, grow beyond our limits, and become more complete human beings. The next time your heart races for someone, remember, you might be seeing your own soul reflected back at you. Embrace it, learn from it, and most importantly, let love guide you to your truest self.